Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team SlideScope. In this part we are doing analysis of top US e-commerce companies by revenue. We are building a dashboard that is for 2023, average number of employees they have, average revenue in USD, their average revenue growth, what is their total revenue by state, although the name of state and city were given as a comma separated value. So you will learn how to separate them using Power Query Editor. Top 10 cities by average revenue growth and revenue in USD millions by city name. And here you can see the name of the companies and their average revenue growth. If you want to see these numbers, you can simply come here and you can enable the data label. So this is all we are going to learn in this part, how to build a dashboard like this, and let's get started. The data set that we are using in this project is USA online shopping companies dataset or e-commerce companies dataset. We have information of top 100 such companies, and on the Kaggle URL from where we have got this data, information of this data set is given. They have given year 2024, so maybe they got the information in 2024, but while doing a little bit of research in this particular website, the Fortune Global 500 ranking, when we selected the year 2023, we got to verify the numbers. So you can see 611,289, 611,289, 513, and so on, 513983. So, and for latest data you can always go to 2024, or for any particular year you can collect the data from here. The only drop down filter that we have applied is country territory as US. You can do it in a similar way for other countries also. So now we will use this simple data set in building dashboards and doing exploratory data analysis. Now to analyze the data set, we will simply open Power BI, and in Power BI desktop we will load this file, which is CSV file. After opening Power BI desktop, click on get data, click on text CSV file, go to your data source where you have saved it and connect it. Now it is being connected. You can check rank, name, industry, everything as it was given in the Kaggle file is appearing properly. We don't need to transform anything, and it is loading all the 100 rows. Now we will simply add a text box. In the text box we will write top US companies by revenue, and I just use a 70-30 ratio or maybe 80-20 ratio to keep my heading and some image, that image that represents what we are doing. Here we will use 28 as the font size, make it bold, align it center, click on this, and by selecting the entire text we can go and change the font color. We can go to properties, we have position and padding, so we can give some top padding to align it in center. Now we will just quickly go to effects. I know this part is a little bit boring, but still it will help you in understanding how to decorate your dashboards. And you can just keep your header like this, and next we can insert an image. So I have some assets, and in these assets I have some e-commerce related image which I will just upload here. This is an image that I got from Canva, so we can also get something similar from Canva. So here we applied effect, and in effect we enable visual border and shadow, you can see. So same effect can be applied here by just copying the format painter and applying it here. So now our dashboard is ready. It is just like a template that I mostly do. If you want to choose any color, you can select like color for background. So here is your canvas background, and you can select any color, although I'm not recommending, but if you want you can select something like this with a very little shade of orange. So this will be just as per the company's requirement. Now our header is ready, and we will simply save the progress so far in our file. So we will write US e-commerce and 2023, 2024, whatever information you want to put. And now we will proceed with creating some visuals to understand which companies. The main purpose will be to understand like which industry has the highest revenue on an average, which industry saw revenue growth, like highest revenue growth. Then on the basis of headquarters, we have information of city and state. So city wise and state wise also we can group the data, which we are going to see in this simple project. So the first thing that I am going to do here, let's say if you want to separate city and state information, so we can simply go to transform data, or we can right click here and click edit query. These are both same things. So from here we can go to transform data, and we can let headquarters be, create a duplicate column, and this column we will rename as city. Okay, and then I will just split the column because I want to create two columns. So I will split the column by delimiter as we do usually in Excel, by comma, because our city name and state name are given in comma separated manner. So now it will automatically create city 1, city 2, and maybe in some cases like we can see the information like in one case in Illinois. So this is something that I will manually do. So I will replace values. Value to find will be Cook country or Cook county, sorry. So Cook county, and will be replaced with Illinois, and click OK. So because I just want to add a state name here, and for no other value we have this. So now we can get rid of this third column I did not see in the first place. We can simply rename it to state, and we can simply rename it to city. I'm not sure, just want to confirm, is Rhode Island a state? Yes, it's a state. If you think, if you are native and or you know the states well, if you think any other name is not properly matched, you can let us in the comment section below so that we will change that. Now once this change is done, we can close and apply. Why we have done that? Because now we will get two different uh, categorical columns to do some exploratory analysis. So first thing is we will bring number of employees. So we will simply create a card here showing how many employees on an average do they have. So we will just add it here and select average. Go to format your visual, call out value. I will say write 35 here and select this color, and what we can do, we can simply go to category label, increase its height or width, whatever is needed. For category label we can select a different color, and this is not average, or we can write average number of employees here. So you can simply rename for this visual as average number of employees. So we will write it like this. Next we will simply make a copy, and here we will see revenue. So what is total revenue for all of them, or what is average revenue? Because when we will use these filters like city as a filter or state as a filter, so we will be able to use them as filters and see categorical performance. And here we will simply rename for this visual as average revenue. in USD million. So the information that is given is already in USD million, and this information shows 117.57K average value. So it is this much USD millions, right? We have to consider that. Similarly, we will also create another copy and we will see what is their revenue growth on an average. So the revenue growth is given in percentage. So we will select average. So which shows average of revenue growth is around 20.20 or 20%. If you actually want to show it as a percentage, you can simply click here and then you will see, just like your CSV file, this information will be changed into percentage and now it will show you the exact number. So these are the three different KPIs that we have for this data. Although what I'm going to do here, let's reduce its width a little bit and increase its width a little bit so that we can put some filters over here. And the filters that we are going to put, first is a state name and second is a city name. So we will add a slicer here. In the slicer, first of all, I will copy the same formatting and then I will add a state name here. So you will see different state names here which we can show as a drop down. So in slicer settings in format visual, remember I will be clicking format visual multiple times, so we can show it as a drop down. Since we have some space over here, so we will select a particular heading color and we will increase its height. And for values, these are values. For values also we will increase font size to 14 and select this as a color. So this is what it is going to show. Now, for example, let's say we want to see for California. So for all the companies in California that are present in this data, the average number of employees are 120.83K and their average revenue is 142 and their average revenue growth is 40.96. But on the other hand, in Florida, you can see average revenue growth is huge, and but the average number of employees are less and average revenue is also less. So we can see from this example, if you want to see it for a particular state, let's say for New York, this 15.5. So this is very important. For California, number of employees are more. Similarly, as we have done for state, we can do it for city or that particular area or county, whatever information is given there. So we will do it for city or county. So here also, for example, Arlington County, Armonk, Atlanta, Austin. In case of city, there may be cases where only one company is there, and there may be cases where more than one companies are there. So that's why that average that we are seeing can be for a single country or single company. So this is what you can do. And if you want to see information of a particular uh, company here, okay, so if you want to see information of a particular company, you can just put the name of that company here as a filter. So let's say for Allstate or for Alphabet or for Amazon, you want to see their performance, so you can see. And what I am doing here is I am building 2023 dashboard. I will collect data for 2024 as well and just simply copy the dashboard, change the data set, and it will be reflected. All the names will be dynamically changed. We just have to make sure that the column names are same here. So that is something that I am going to do later, the second part. Now there is one more thing. We have information of rank. So when there is a number, right, a continuous number like rank is given, so when you will add it as a filter, right now it will show as a drop down obviously, but we will go to slicer setting and we will say show as between. So let's say we want to see top 10. What it will help us is, let's say we want to see top 10 companies information, like for all companies that are in top 10, what is their average number of employees. You can see there are 500,000 employees there on an average. If we select, let's say top 50, okay, and for that you can see number of employees are reducing, let's say from 90 to 100 or 80 to 100. So this way this filter will give you a very important interactive option to change and see performance of companies. Obviously they are top 100, but among those top 100 companies, if you want to see companies within a specific range, and here for example for slicer header, so because we have less space here, so that's why the name, maybe the header is not properly visible. I will disable the header though, and then I will enable the title and say rank. So we can write it as a title also, and we will use the same color and same font. Okay, so this will show us the rank. So if you want to learn Power BI from scratch, you can learn Power BI at slidescope.com. We conduct online classes of Power BI, and you can find out 150 more videos related to Power BI on our channel. So now after creating this, we will start creating some visuals, and the first visual will be to see state wise average revenue. Okay, so for that we have a shape map here. If you don't have shape map, I have told this in previous examples. So you can go to options and settings, and from here you can go to preview features and enable shape map visual. You can also enable Q&A for live connected services, etc, etc, like modern visual toolkit. But in this case we are just enabling shape map, because in shape map it also gives information of, you know, it gives us option to color the states as a gradient for different kind of values. So for example in location, if we put name of state from here, so first of all it will create a graph like this, and then in legend if you want to put something categorical like industry, you can put. But in color saturation we will see their average revenue. We can also see their average revenue growth, whatever is your target field here. So we will put average revenue or sum of revenue. So here you can see state, and in color saturation average of revenue. And the thing is very interesting that it is not recognizing the states, because you can see we have a space here, leading space here, when we did it with the help of edit query. So there is a space, so we edit query once again, and that's why it is not recognizing that state name. And I forgot to see this small thing here. Now here what you can see, like removing the space can be done with different ways. So one simple way is to replace values, and value to find a space replace with nothing. Let's see, we click OK. Now it is done. We will close and save. So close and apply, and now if we come back, we can see those states are now colored, and we can see the color that it is using is the blue color. And you can see states like Washington or Arkansas or Nebraska, these are dark colors. States like Oregon is lighter shade. Obviously for other states we don't even have the information. For those states of which are coming in top 100, we have the information, and like Florida is there, Massachusetts is there, so we are seeing this information. And if you want, you can choose a different color. So for fill colors, the gradient is between blue and lighter shade of blue and darker shade of blue. But we can also select something like lighter shade of orange and darker shade of orange, something like orange, or this maroon color that is there, which is close to our background as well. So this is important. And now this is average of revenue by state, and we will go to title setting, From here we will select the title color that we have selected for others, and let's increase the size to 15. The average of revenue in USD by state. Similarly, let's copy this. Obviously, after copying, I will change the visual. So this time the visual that I am going to select is a donut chart, and I will remove the name of state from here, and I will select industry. So like we have so many industries here, and on the basis of industry we can see, if we just zoom it, that retail industry is the one. Retail and cloud computing is that industry which has highest average revenue. Here we can select sum of revenue as well, because we can select, we can see on the basis of total revenue which industry is more, and even here also, like on an average how much a state does good, but in terms of total revenue, yeah, I was thinking why California and Texas are there. Now they are, because I selected average there. So this is sum of revenue, and this is sum of revenue by industry. So here you can see retail industry is actually leading, and second comes petroleum, then healthcare, then technology, and so on. So on an average, if you want to see which industry has more revenue, you can select average as your filter value. Average is your selected function. If you want to see something like this, you can select it. So this is showing us information now, and now we can also see city here. So if you want, you can see a cluster, you can create a clustered column chart here, and for this clustered chart, or you can also select a simple bar chart, any kind of bar chart. So let's increase its width. Yeah, so here what we can do, we can simply select city name or county name, whatever you want to select, and city or county, whatever name is given here, and on y-axis we will select revenue growth. Okay, and not sum of revenue growth, average revenue growth, and this will show us an ordered list of cities in descending order, like Clearwater, Miami, Parsippany, Troy Hills, Fort Worth. This is showing us average of revenue growth by city, right? So if you want, you can select top 10 here also. In order to select top 10, you can go to filters, city is all, you can go to basic filtering, top n, select top 10 here by average revenue growth. So from here you can select by average revenue growth, and you can apply. Here you will see in visualizations we can show the data labels also. We will be able to see that percentage also. Okay, so this is something that you can select from here. And if you want to see total revenue, like what is revenue by city, so you can select that as a window, so which we will do later. We can copy this, and here we will just create a clustered bar chart. In clustered bar chart, I will just replace it with sum. So in sum of revenue, and not sum of revenue growth, but revenue in USD. So in sum of revenue in USD, you can see Houston is the city, and here we will simply rename it as revenue by city. So here one thing that I have to do, city is top 10, so I will clear the filter here. Then comes New York, right? Because here in the chart we applied top 10 filter. So these are top 10 cities by average revenue growth. So we will change the title, top 10 cities by average revenue growth. These are the top 10 cities, and these are the cities revenue USD increments by city. And you can see on last place there is San Diego, and first is New York. So you can select from here. And next, the important thing, we have to arrange the companies by their revenue. So for that we will choose a clustered column chart, and I will create a graph that is at least twice the width of graphs that are given above. Here one thing I will do is I will simply go here, or let's try one thing. What if I select format printer and apply? Okay, nothing is happening. So here in columns I will change color. I will select gradient and not count of city, but we have to select revenue growth and we have to select average. So in terms of average revenue growth, if any city's average revenue growth is less, show it as this orange value. If it is higher, show it is the brick color or whatever you call it. So this will show us that information. Similarly for here also, we can do the same thing, and this will make all the charts in the same graph pattern that we have. Here we can keep it like this. So that's why we will copy the formatting here. On x-axis we will put the name of that particular company, and on y-axis we will put the revenue in millions. I will select actually the line and stack column chart, and in line axis I will bring average revenue growth to see here, and for that line axis value, for example the line that we have selected, so it is solid color, I will select that, and here I will select the line color as this. So obviously there is a lot of information here, but you can see company names that have most value of revenue, but you will also see those companies where actually the revenue growth is more. Okay, like obviously they have more revenue, their revenue growth is lower. Obviously for this much revenue, having a revenue growth is a big thing, not in negative. But here you can see like 51.6% or 53% or 58%, 28%. So this way you will be able to see that. So this is something that you can check from here, and you can use the shaded area in order to cover it. Just an example, just the different things that we are taking here. And I will just disable data labels here so that we can see it in a more proper way. One thing I will do, I will reduce their height so that we can shift the graphs a little bit up, because I want to increase the height of graphs that we have posted in the last row, because these are very important and I want to show it in a proper height. Or I have some space here also, right? So I will just take it down to last. So this is a simple chart that we can see. This chart is actually important for understanding how company revenue growth is there, and by different states what is the overall performance in terms of sum of revenue by different industries. On an average, if we want to see revenue growth of cities, and totally we want to see, you can select it there. Although we can show this on the same chart as well, just like we did it here. So you have different options now which you can try. One more thing I will do, because I am selecting this color, so I will go with this color for numericals also, or just keep it like this. So this is our simple chart giving us information of top US e-commerce companies by revenue analysis. One final thing, although you can skip, but here I want to just enable shadow. So I will format printer, enable shadow, because by enabling shadow we will get some kind of 3D effect. So this is important. And here, since it is going to mess up with the title, so I will manually enable shadow here. And now I will copy here. So this is something I know that. So I will click one of them one by one and wait. If you like this tutorial, if you learned something from it, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and if you have some questions, or if you have some suggestions, please mention them in the comment section below. We will come with more revenue related financial data analysis etc. like this. So just wait for those notifications.